Do you mind giving us a couple of the tips that you were going to put on viral intentions in the beginning when you were wanting to launch this in 2017? Will you give us some of the tips of how do we go viral on Twitter or some other platform?
Well, on Twitter, and again, the landscape now is very different on Twitter. And I think the way the algorithms work are very different. But it really comes down to riding trends and knowing what is hot on Twitter and then applying your voice to it. On Twitter, it was kind of built in at that time. It had trends going, so you could see what people were talking about and you could amplify a lot. And also, it's funny because now TikTok's sort of becoming this. News only really ever went to Twitter. Like if news was going to quote something from a social media platform, it was always Twitter. Now you see people pulling stuff from TikTok a lot and less from Twitter. But at the time, like one of my big things was Sharknado. I'm obsessed with Sharknado movies.
What is this?
The sci-fi movie Sharknado. You don't know Sharknado?
No, here's the thing.
Do yourself.
I had someone else on my podcast recently, and they had this show that's called like, how did you not see that? How have you not seen this? Like it's about movies. And they told me how hard it is to find people that haven't seen these movies. And I'm like, dude, I got you. I don't watch movies. I don't know anything about any movies. I barely know who Steven Spielberg is and Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. That's like it. That's all I got. So is this a series, or is this the person who actually created the movies or the sci-fi movies? Is this like a human being, or? Sharknado
is like one of the biggest phenomenons ever, especially on Twitter.
It's not a person.
No, Sharknado is like a movie. It's Ian Ziering and Tara Reid. It's one of those like goofy, crazy, ridiculous movies, but it was just done so great. And it was a viral sensation. And one of the things that happened with Sharknado was people like Will Wheaton and other stars were watching it and tweeting it. And it literally became one of the biggest things ever for the Sci-Fi Network. It's actually the 10-year anniversary right now of the first movie.
Okay.
So you're way behind.
Yeah.
But that was the whole idea. Is like, so for the Sharknado movies, you could, if you're part of a conversation and there's a whole rising tide element going on where a lot of people are doing it and sharing, like during the Grammys or the Oscars, those are award shows.
I've heard of those. I just don't know which one's which.
So, it was all about kind of timing it. And like I had articles on CNN and every publication you can think of that would pull my tweets and read them on the air or become part of a publication. So it was a good ride. It was a lot of fun. I think on my website, I have like snapshots of clips of a lot of those. So is it like, but that was when Twitter was like really, really, really in its kind of heyday where you could kind of really stand out. I mean, I was never like the hugest thing on Twitter, but for a guy that nobody knows.
That's pretty cool. Love it. So your best advice, if you are going to try to go viral somewhere, is maybe to see what is trending and follow it.
Yeah, I think on TikTok and Twitter, those are your best bets because they have trending topics and things that rise the things that are using those hashtags and stuff to the top and can give you more eyeballs. So yeah, it's anytime you look at when you're flipping through and it goes, use this app to, find the latest trends. Like, I don't know if those apps are like, but the idea behind the apps is 100% spot on. If there's something emerging or hot and you jump on it, you're very likely to elevate the eyeballs on that content.